if you tell me there's a company down here that's buying dog, I'm gonna sit back and say,
how can I make some money off the dog?
How could we catch the stray dogs? How could I knock on the door to convince the owners to let us come clean up your dog poop? And what kind of food can we feed them to keep, like, that's just me. And I'm an impulse thinker, and I kind of, like, I think on the go.
Yeah. You must have always been that way.
You know what? I can't say
because you said legal stuff versus illegal stuff.
Yeah, I don't with that because I come from illegal. I remember being young, and my family was like they were drug dealers.
In what city?
In Pacoima over here. Okay. A lot of my family, they were either they were drug dealers. That's just what it was.
You grew up seeing that
in the 80s.
Yeah.
So, and I seen it. I'm talking about. You know how you got the back house right here?
Yeah.
The back house back there was the people they caught that owed the money and put the hand on the table and where my money, boom, pinky gone. I used to peek through the window seeing these things, right? So everything about my upbringing said I should have been that. But I would hear, they caught him, he went to jail and he got 5 years for a $50 crack rock.
Yeah.
So it's $50, 5 years. That didn't add up. So as I went on, I've always had friends, Asian friends, white friends, Jewish friends that I would meet because I got bussed out of school. So I would go hang with them, meet their brothers and uncles and stuff like that. And when you got on their side of the track, they were criminals too. They were just white collar criminals.
Yeah.
And guess what? They'll get caught doing some shit for $200 million and get probation.
Yeah.
So when I was hustling, I went that way. That's why a lot of people like, we don't remember him on the block selling drugs. And I wasn't. They didn't know what the hell I was doing because I'm doing things with people that don't look like me, that don't live where I live, but they just trust me. And but what did come along with it that got me in trouble was violence. I lived what I lived. The gang aspect was there. You know what I mean? So the violence. But even back then, I was operating different. Like, I never operated amongst my whole neighborhood. I created a clique. We had a clique, and that's it. And I didn't care about the whole neighborhood, just my clique and what our rules were. But I used to watch The Godfather 5 days a week. Every time, I swear.
I'm not gonna lie, that's funny.
You're gonna laugh at it.
It's funny.
When things would go on in the streets, I watched it so much, I would go back and go to the part of the movie that related to that. And I would come up with my plan of attack.
No way.
But I swear, even today, I could call my girl, the one you met, R&B at the airport.
Yeah.
I've made her watch the movie 10 times to understand me. I told her about 8 months ago, I said, hey, music is slowing down. A few things I do to make money slowing down. I said, go ahead and watch part 2 when Mikey had to leave. And then you're going to understand why it's a change in me. Because when Mikey's home got shot up, he knew at that point in time, some of his resources had turned on him and went another way. And he had to venture out and figure out what was going on for the future of the family. So it was just like, but with doing that, it gave me, I was always thinking older. You know, at 14, the dudes I hung out with was 30, 35. People my age just did make sense. And it landed me in jail, and I ended up being in prison at a very young age. But
for how long?
My first trip, 12 years old, I called assault with deadly weapon, non-firearm. Shot a dude in the face like 28 times with a pellet gun.
What?
He called my mother the B word. So what happened was, we're in the backyard. My friends got the OG Daisy pump BB gun.
Yeah.
I had, there's one with the CO2 canister, the handgun.
Yeah.
With pellets. So I went in to get another cartridge. I think a BB had went through and maybe hit his kid on the other side of the gate. So he's come around. So I hear my mom at the door. She's like, yeah, Mike, his English is real broken. My kid shot. She's like, okay, well, I think they're in the backyard. So she didn't even know I was in the house. So when I came out of the house, he saw me with the gun in my hand. He like, no, him. He said, no, he's been in the house. She's trying to back. He's pissed off.
Yeah.
His English is broken. And he said it. You called her a B word. And I ran. But you got to remember, coming out the streets, watching my older brother, watching my cousins, his uncles in the back house, how they say you supposed to handle things, watching these crazy movies, right? And I was always taught, if we're not here, your father's not here, your older brother's not here, you're the man of the house.
Yeah.
Right? And I ran up on him, and I was very athletic. I've been athletic since I've been 4 years old. I was the water boy for the all-star teams and track and basketball. Yeah, we can go over that. Russell White, a few key people that end up going pro. I was their water boys and all of that, right? So I was always a strong kid. I worked out with my uncles and brothers. Whenever they went, they used to go to Zuma Beach and run. I wanted to go.
Yeah.
They can leave me behind, but I wouldn't stop, right? My uncle had this crazy German Shepherd named Killer who used to go with him and run with him. So that would keep me running because I was scared of Killer. I didn't want him to catch me. So when I ran up on the guy and started popping him, he grabbed my hand. But I filled him up. I hit him 28 times in the face.
And so that's juvenile though. So
I was juvenile. I was on the run for about 4 or 5 months. And my sister-in-law forgot I'm sleeping in her Cherokee Jeep, running around. She's doing errands. And she forgot and pulled up in my mother's driveway. Squad car been sitting there every day looking for me.
Yeah.
And I went to jail for that. I did about maybe 2-3 months, 4 months or so, got out on probation. And then from there, it's just the violence got worse and worse with the gangbanging. I've never been to jail for for drugs or nothing like that. It was all violence, murders, attempted murders, assault with deadly weapons and things like that. And in and out, went to YA, Youth Authority. And then at 16, I got found unfit. I had 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, 1 count of discharging firearm in city limits, 1 count of firing into a vehicle, and 1 count of firing into a dwelling. Because when he drove in the garage, closed the garage, I jumped out, reloaded, lit the house up.
This is the actual gun. You're shooting.
No, this real shit.
Yeah, it's not like a pellet gun.
Yeah, dude tried to maybe I cut him off or something. I don't know what I did. I seen him kind of pull up on the side of me, was kind of talking crazy. I had a 1978 Cadillac Seville.
That's a beautiful car.
Yeah, I had Cadillac Centrons and Vols, the grill, the rag top, the plushed interior. Back then, I had the premier face off, not the pull out. Oh, I was balling. I was a young baller. What it took, 20,000 in a gray Century safe. You know what I'm saying? A couple pistols. You was balling in the ghetto. We didn't buy new cars. We brought old cars and fixed them up. And he pulled on the side of me, and I seen him saying something. And back in those days, we rolled what you call lap straps.
Lap
you keep
straps.
your gun on your lap.
Okay.
So dude got out. The only thing that saved me, brother, is dude had a long Jesse James Clint Eastwood gun. So when he went in his waistband,
oh, he had a gun too.
It took him so long to get it out. I seen it, and I just started popping at him through the passenger side window. It startled him because I think he was talking crazy to me so long on the side of me, he thought I didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
So he jumped in the car and tried to get away, and I chased him down, and one thing led to another, but then he went and played Karen on me, called the cops. I think people seen it, and they called him and said, hey, do you know who that was who you just got into it with? And my clique at that time was notorious. Because it's obviously he had a little heart because he really once started it. But I think once people start telling him who I was and what I was tied to, he was like, screw that. He called the cops. And you know what? I'm glad he called the cops on me.
How long did you get for that?
I was looking at 17 years at the time.
Because they consider that attempted murder because you followed them.
Well, yeah. What they did, they charged me with 2 counts with assault with deadly weapon. Okay. So I was looking at 17 years. They found me unfit. So they're like, because Sacramento sends a letter down and says, due to his fouls and his level of manipulation and sophistication, we find him unfit to enter a juvenile facility. We bound him over to adult attention. So I'm going every day, they picking me up. I get up and they transfer me to the county jail to get on the bus to go to Van Nuys Court or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So the judge ended up giving me 7 years. Would have time to do 3.5 years. Ended up doing like 5 years, 10 months, and 6 years. Because this was a time when the racial tension between blacks and Hispanics ignited, which was new to me because I grew up in Pacoima. Blacks and Hispanics, we grew up together. We got along. Crips and Bloods were the Crips and Bloods, and then the Hispanics did their thing amongst themselves. So I come into the system right when the Sureños said, unite, we're all one.
Yeah.
And so we're dealing with that. Let me see, I started at Delano, Soledad, Pleasant Valley, and then I end up closing out in New Corcoran. So I touched 4 prisons on that stint, and I end up, I think I did a violation at Chuckawalla Chino, somewhere else I went. So I hit like 6, 7 prisons. But I believe that if I wouldn't have went to prison, I would either been dead or I'd have caught life, because the things that were going on the streets, I know I'd have been overly involved in one way or another. So it kind of saved me. And I was able to get in there and realize, like, bro, you know how many 50-year-old dudes I taught how to read and write? You know what I mean? Because I was always a straight A student. I was always a magna kid.
When did you get it? So you're like 21 getting out?
Yeah, came on 22.
22.
Yeah, I was always a magnet, straight A student.
But most people go and then end up just continuously going back and violating and going back. And you didn't go back?
I've been home 26 years. Yeah, parole in 99. I've been home. I've never been convicted as an adult with a felony. I was a minor charge as an adult. Since then, I've got my record expunged and things of that. And it's like, I understand it. Looking back at it, that's why I tell the kids, you know, hey, go to the police academy, go to the military, go to trade school. There's nothing for you over there. You know, my people is like, they complain, they say, hey man, these crooked cops, you know, these white KKK style cops are doing this to us. Okay. But then when a guy like me tells our youth to go to police academy, you tell them, if you go to police academy, you a buster. Well, okay, well, how are we gonna change it? Right. Because if we don't put us who grew up around us in there, so when they pull us over, they're not nervous and jittery. I get it. A lot of cops, as you know it, bro, you know, probably got their lunch money took. I tell people, hey, bro, the white dudes I hung around with, them middle linebackers, them crazy ass defensive ends, you know, those Chets, those Bretts, right? They cool as hell. Yeah. But it was some people in school that I could only imagine if this dude ever gets some power. Yeah. It's a problem. You know, in the world I live in, I'm colorblind. Like, you know, I catch flack because, you know, I tell them I'm American. Yeah. You know, and you know, a lot of my people, my Hebrew Israelite brothers, you know, they into the Israelite thing and the 12 tribes of Judah. You know, shout out to my brother Captain Tazari. I talk to him for the understanding and the knowledge, but the way I see things, I see it totally different. I believe it's good, it's bad, and it's fair people from all walks.
Yeah, of course. All right, guys, quick interrupt for the podcast. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. If you guys have ever thought about getting some sort of outside perspective on whatever's going on in your life, whatever's kind of like keeping you feeling like you're in a rut, talk therapy could work for a lot of people. It's worked for me in the past. It's something I do recommend. BetterHelp makes it really simple and easy for you guys if you want to give it a shot. Go to betterhelp.com. Very easy. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. Basically just like a web call. You don't have to worry about driving in somewhere. You don't have to worry about like, traffic. Less excuses, the better. Because a lot of times, let's be honest, we make excuses for ourselves to try to better ourselves. Sometimes we avoid the things, but this is a way for you to make it easy for yourself so you don't have to avoid it. And again, I can't recommend enough getting some sort of outside, unbiased sort of advice on whatever you are going through. Sometimes helps you figure it out on your own. And yeah, like I said, if you go and you ask your best friend or your family, a lot of times you're going to get sort of input from their perspective based on maybe something that they want out of a situation. And it can help, and it does help to talk to people around you, but it also is really beneficial to talk to people who have an outside, unbiased perspective. So go to BetterHelp. That's betterhelp.com to get 10% off. Use code RAWTALK right now, your first month. Let's get back into this podcast.
Do you think gang stuff is as popular as it, I don't want to say popular, but prevalent?
It's a good word.
Is it as prevalent as it was when you were young? Or it's kind of died a little bit, no?
It's down. It's down.
It's a good thing.
And I'm a continue to work on getting it down, because you become a product of your environment. Growing up over there when you're in these different neighborhoods, I swear, bro, I'm gonna tell you something that's crazy. I live right there in Pacoima. The first time I got on the airplane, I was 22. The first time I went to the Topanga Mall, I was about 22. We didn't know how to get over here. You get what I'm saying? We didn't know how to. You know what I'm saying? So you're a hamster. You're in this little box, and the guys with the money, with the Mercedes or whatever, and the jewelry and all this, sold drugs or robbed banks. So what does that tell you? In order for you to get ahead, you have to sell drugs, rob banks, rob people, things of that nature, right? So within being able to get out and see the world, and I understand why my mentality is, I could be driving on the 101 freeway and say, damn, man, I don't need to get back to Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been there a dozen times. I know what it is. There, you know what? I want to go back to London. I need to, I miss Oslo, Norway, right? Because I've been there. My mind has been, right? So I have a craving to get back to things. And that's what led me to creating this diaper company, because I was always over there for music. So when you on a tour, you move it. Certain places I make sure we stay, London and Amsterdam, 2, 3, 4 days at a time. But 90% of the time I traveled, it was business of music. Shout out to Game. He's the first one to take me overseas. But I always was telling myself, when you visit places like Versailles, you know what I'm saying? And you looking at the history. A lot of us don't know where I come from. America is the baby of the countries.
Yeah, brand new.
We're brand new. Yeah. I mean, you get over there, brother, and you walking around Versailles Palace, the mansion, and you're seeing, okay, when this king was here, this is what it looked like in the year 1200. And in 1300, when this king, they added this wing. So you're really like, damn, right? To see this and see what they built back then, you become curious, and to see Big Ben and drop down into Moscow and then be able to sit down at the tables in Switzerland discussing business and hear how they discussing it, right? I developed an urge and the will to create something that gave me a reason to have to be over there, because it's a lot of money, it's a lot of people, it's a lot of culture, it's a lot of things that I don't know. Let's be real, brother. If I told you right now, bro, Friday, Miami, you want to roll? Yeah, Wack, sure, cool. What the hell that we gonna really go do in Miami we ain't did a dozen times? What we gonna do? We're gonna go to Live, we're gonna go to Fountain, we're gonna go to fucking Prime 112, we gonna go get on the yacht.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, our key places that's key out here, we've done dozens of times. But when you get over the water,
yeah, it's different.
Just when you think you saw it all, it's some more to see.
So do you think then, I think the gang stuff then is probably sort of dying out also because of social media, because
yeah, they watering it down.
Well, not, I mean, I'm not saying because people doing shit on social media, but I like what you just mentioned was like seeing the world for what it can really be outside of like your bubble. Because like the gang shit seemed like it probably existed more back in the day to like a higher degree because there was less visibility of what's outside the bubble.
Less visibility, but not only that, the law. The law, you got to remember. I mean, let's talk about it. I haven't heard anybody mention this, so we're going to talk about it. The word gangster was adopted by the common street gangs. That comes from the mob, the mafia.
Yeah.
The dudes in the suit and ties that operated on another level of being organized, right? Okay. Rico was created and designed for who? Them. The John Gottis, right? Okay. How many of those organizations, and we're not going to talk about Mexico, within the United States operating on that level, if they are, that's visible, how they were then. You don't hear about
none of them.
Such and such crime family anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now the feds, however long it took them, went through all of that and shut all that down. Now you have feds, as I see, giving the common street guy RICO charges. When at one time, that was something that was created for the upper echelon of crime.
Yeah.
So they don't have nothing to do. Well, shit, we didn't shut down all the crime families, as we say it. Okay, the BMF guys and the few little dudes who had their little drug ring going, right? We didn't shut them down. Now they're down here playing on the blocks of the ghetto, doing 20 and 30 and 50 people indictments in all the cities. So now people see you get caught doing this, doing that, they'll give you 20, 30 years. And if you Google it, they're paying informants damn near $100,000 a year.
It's like,
We're going to let you sell your dope, do what you do. We're going to pay you $8,000, $9,000 a month. You got to get out of jail free card because we know you got to look and play the part, right? But going out there, right? And I think it started with the 3-strike law. The 3-strike law softened the streets up because people, when a person would get 5 years and go do 30 months and come home, now, okay, the case carry 5 years, second strike, double up to 10. You've been to prison twice, 2-year enhancement twice, 14, instead of 50%, 85%. So now when you'd have been out in 2.5 years, you're doing 12 and a half, 13. It scares people, bro. Like, people are human beings. You could play tough. You could say you're this. You could say you're that. But when it come down to it and you're facing the reality of doing the rest of your life or giving them something, 95% of the people I know have grown up with is going to find out where their Auntie Mabel lives in backwoods, Alabama, and they're going to give them something and relocate. So that has softened the streets. Now, the so-called snitch, because of that, are gangsters that have snitched, right?
Yeah.
What I call the killer rat. Let me tell you about the killer rat. The killer rat has been known as a killer in his neighborhood. People have feared this man. 20 years. They know what he does. And now he's 45 and not 25. And the 20 years in front of him, he doesn't want to do. So you know what he does? He cooperates and he snitches. And they let him back on the street. But guess what? Ordinarily, the streets would do what to the rat? Exterminate him, right? But what is he? He's a killer who is now a rat who will exterminate your ass. So now people are like, yeah, he did it, but I don't want to mess with him. So you got half a dozens of him, and then you got the other ones like, well, I get the money, bro. Could I come mess with y'all? You know I got the plugs. So now you got the group of people over here, that's the gangsters, ain't getting no money. They broke. They living at home, they ain't got no car. They can't go to the clubs. They ain't got nothing going on. The killer rat and the hustler rats have come together, and now they driving down the street in the Rolls Royces and the Mercedes. So what does that do to the guy on the block who's still clean? When he gets in the situation, do you take the 20 or do you go join the club? And that was a rap for the streets.
Yeah.
Troy Ave, back in 2015, said it. And even I thought he was crazy. The streets is a myth. The streets is a myth.
And you believe that now?
That's a fact. I've been believing it. I've been pushing it. I haven't been a gangbanger for 2.5 decades. I'm from where I'm from. You watch Carlito's Way?
Yeah, of course.
You remember Benny from the Bronx?
Yeah.
Carlito said what? The old me, I know what I would have done, and I know this gonna come back and bite me one day. So as long as I'm still roaming this land, in this country, I have to be conscientious of where I come from. I can't tell myself, well, Wack, you're a businessman and you're this, so you got to totally ignore and disregard you coming from that Paru tribe. You know why? Because when I was a part of that, I did things. I did things to people to where they might not forget, to where their kids and nephews or whatever might not forget. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be conscientious of what I'm tied to. Now, when it comes time to the gangbanging, I'm colorblind. I do business with everybody. I don't care what color you got on. I don't care what words you use. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
In the world, they know that. They all tell you, man, do to help you. He don't care that you a Crip. He don't care that you this. You call him as a man respectfully. He gonna talk to you and do what he can. So, I tell the children today, there's no future over there. It's none. It's the graveyard or 100 years waiting on you.
Yeah.
It's nothing over there.
What I find so interesting, how it's just like, there's obviously a lot of reasons why the gang thing got so popular, but music is something that made it like way bigger than it ever would have been, I think.
Yeah, no, listen, game, respectfully, and I'm not saying this in a way to where, in a negative manner, but the persona of the game, I'm from Cedar Block, Paul Row.
Yeah.
That's where you're from. Now, let me tell you something. I've been places overseas, okay, especially in the UK area. Bro, you get off the bus, these dudes got Paru on their face, bopped in on their neck, can't speak
UK.
no English. Actually, what's that place up top where they shot Braveheart? Right by, like, Scotland.
Scotland, yeah.
The top part. It's still the UK, but what's the name of it? It's going to come to me. They ain't playing over there. They don't even speak English up there, but Paru and blood on them. They'll whoop our ass behind the game, but we on the bus with him. This is for real. So it's one thing to see banging in Little Rock, Arkansas, or New York, or it's over here, or Alabama. It's another thing to get off the bus in Italy, get off the bus in the UK, or Switzerland, or goddamn Ireland, and they gang banging.
But it's like, but are they though? They just adopted that.
Yes, they are physically hurting the people over there because they're from here and we from here. They gang banging. You call it what you want. You can say it's not California, it's not the USA, but them bullets and them knives and the violence that they're doing is no different from what's happening over here behind the name of a color. Yeah, so it had a crazy influence. The sad part about it is, as California has slowed down drastically, the other places that have been influenced are speeding up.
Just getting started, kind of.
Yeah, they operating like we did in the 80s. I could have came over here right now with 50 people, 25 Crips, 25 Bloods, and you would have never been able to tell the difference because that's the atmosphere we're in today over here. We're not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're kind of preaching a lot of unity. The youngsters are still doing what they're doing. If it comes a day where people just want to stop it, the OGs still got to say so. But we allow them to see us fraternizing and hanging together and doing business together. right the right way to where they say, oh man, I thought he was the enemy.
Why do you think it's so glorified?
Well, shit, what else did we have to glorify at the time?
Yeah.
That was
But now, like now, why is it glorified?
well, it's not other places glorified.
yeah.
We don't necessarily glorify it over here, but other places that have been influenced. New York was influenced by two things. A movie called Colors, which may have showed 10% of what it was, and a book written by Monster Cody from H-Ray Gangster. Now let me tell you how funny this is. Monster Cody's a Crip, right? But the book influenced the start of the New York Bloods. And they start taking gang names out the book and adopted them and turning into that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, and not, you know, to us, we know what it is. But to them, I don't know why. I ask them all the time. They get mad at me because I tell them, once I leave California, I no longer acknowledge or fraternize with any Crips or Bloods. If I happen to be doing business with you and you're that, cool. But we're not going to have those conversations because their way of doing things versus what it is, it just becomes into a conflict and an argument. You can't tell me that this is the way of doing it when you're doing something that's totally wrong. But guess what? I'm not even trying to teach you because me being who I am, coming from the West Coast, if I was to sway you to doing it our way and you get caught doing some drastic things and you say the big homie such and such has come out here and helped us, now they hit me with a Rico. So I'm in the gang files over here. It ain't no getting out of that. I've been there since I've been a pup. Been in the gang files maybe 34, 33 years. I can't, 32, 36. I can't duck that. But you'll never have me fraternizing, organizing, contributing to anything that represents a street gang. Anywhere else is not gonna happen.
You know what I've seen? Like all this stuff, I don't know who's been getting caught up. Is it this guy Big U's been getting caught up?
Oh,
like
he just got some more paperwork came out last night that's ugly.
But this stuff has now all come out and it's like people get on podcasts and say crazy shit that later apparently like is really affecting them.
Well,
because I don't get that because that's not gangster at all.
That's the difference between back then and now. And this is what's crazy, right? Right now, you don't know my history, right?
Right.
And
Extensively.
wait, hold on.
Yeah.
And I tell people this because they say, Wack, you let them come on No Jumper with you and you let them say it. Hey, listen, bro, I don't know this dude and I'm going to be real. You don't know if a dude's making shit up, BSing. You don't know. The only thing I know to do as a co-host with my man Adam 22 is listen to your conversation and know how to take 3 minutes of what you're saying and create another 3 minutes of debate and then take another 3 minutes on that. I know how to take a basic, simple conversation and build on it. Whether you're telling the truth or not, I don't know. But with the things you're saying, I got to kill 2 hours. I'm going to build on what you're saying. It's on that guy to know what to say, what not to say.
Yeah.
I mean, Orlando Brown sits down all the time and says all kind of outlandish things, right? That we know is not true. But this is how it works. It's all fun and games with him. But because you're saying some things that's on the wiretap and there's a victim over there who told us you did it and now you just confirmed it, it's different. I mean, bro, Clout is a new crack cocaine.
Yeah.
It gives you a high that you don't want to come down off of. Now with me, I'm just me. I'm not a gimmick. So a lot of these people are gimmicks. I'm a guy that's knowledgeable about the things I'm knowledgeable of, who can carry a conversation, who has history, right? In the music industry, in the streets, various businesses, great personal relationships with a lot of our big names, so I can have a conversation about things. Some of these dudes come in here and they like, yo, I'm gonna say what it takes to get their attention.
Yeah. Who do you think are the biggest gimmicks?
607 Unc right now, Orlando. Another gimmick, he ain't gonna like it, but I believe he's a gimmick. And y'all don't attack the brother for this. I believe Dr. Umar's a gimmick.
Why? And I'm not arguing it.
First of all, your basics for what you stand on and represent has went back to this school that is never open.
That is never what?
Never open.
Never
open. This was Pan-African school, right? Second of all, every time something happens, he somehow streamlines it to a black-white thing.
Yeah.
And I don't like that, because it makes my people look like we're always looking for an excuse. No, he did what he did. That R. Kelly, this dude, that dude, they got federal charges because they wouldn't sell their catalog. No, he got federal charges because it was this and this and this going on, which has nothing to do with the catalog. He's going to say, but if they would have sold him the catalog, they wouldn't have brought the charges. Regardless of what you think,
Yeah.
you have it wrong. If he wouldn't have been doing that, and that, whether he sold the catalog or not, it wouldn't have been no charges brought. So he always, and to me, I think he's playing on the minds of those people who are caught up in that.
Yeah. In the like the race division.
Yeah,
shit.
bro, if it's a football field and every 10 yards, it's a different ethnic group of baby in those 10 yards. I'm going to tippy-toe goal line to goal line the same way. I'm not going to get to a certain ethnic group of children and start running as if I don't care, right? And I tell a lot of these people, hey, look, bro, this is the only thing I don't like. I tell my brother, Captain Tazariot, he's a Hebrew Israelite from the ISUPK. They serious about it. The only problem I got with you, Cap, if you over here talk about the Israelite and the 12 tribes of Judah, if you don't like it over here, take your ass to Israel.
Yeah.
Why are you over here complaining about what is not? Go to what you say you are, which I believe you're born here. Your culture is here. I hear what you're reading, but everything about you reads Black American. You know, I tell people I'm Black American, yes, of African descent and of Native American descent.
Yeah.
Right? My history, I'm going to start at one of the plantations. I'm not too concerned about what went on somewhere, you know, in Africa, right? Because my history, my great-grandparents and parents, what they went through and how their struggles came from the plantation, right? And I started there. And I tell people, the progress that my people have made, I can't be mad at, I'm proud of. And those people that think like-minded and walk in a room and see people, Jewish, Italian, Latino, Caucasian, whatever you want to see, and understand that I came in here to speak business and not walk in there on some Dr. Umar stuff saying, oh yeah, they're going to shut me down there against me because I'm black.
Yeah.
Well, this the thing. They knew you was black before they gave you the invitation. So if that's where they was at, they would have never invited you in here. And one thing I do know about the people I deal with, hey, if it's doable, if it's movable, and it makes sense,
Yeah.
they're gonna do the business.
Yeah. Money's got no color.
Yeah, it's real talk. And you know, and I believe in building relationships. I believe in politics. You know, everything about me is built around that. I met you some time ago.
Yeah.
My wife was going back to Vegas. And I remember her asking me, I said, man, I misplaced the brother's number. I said, I really wanted to do his podcast, right? So Adam, right, hits me. Hey, good friend of mine, such and such, such.
Yeah.
That's why when you said, yeah, I'm the guy, I said, yeah, I remember you.
Yeah.
Right? Now, this is how the politics work, right? Ordinarily, it would have been, how much is he paying you? Adam's on the text blast. That's my business partner.
Yeah.
He said, this is a good friend of mine. See, this is how this works. So you know what? You never heard mention on the text of money. When I got here, I didn't sit in the car and send a guy in here and say, he wants to know how much you paying him, right?
Yeah.
You know why? Because the minute I walked through that door, and the minute you saw that I hit this dude 10 o'clock last night, and he's here at 11 o'clock this next morning on a Sunday, sitting here, never any mention of anything else. The next time I text you and say, hey, brother, do you deal with such and such? Or, hey, I got somebody that's trying to do this. Can you sit down with him? You know what I know you're going to extend back to me?
Of course.
And a lot of
Same
people,
grace.
a lot of people don't understand that. The value, in relationships.
Yeah.
And this is how I'm able to survive with a GED. What I don't know,
Yeah.
I got people around me that know.
Yeah.
And the people I don't know that I need to know, I create relationships so they can get to know me.
Why do you think it's hard for people to break through the color barrier in certain situations? Like why? Like is it? Because to me it feels like it's like I don't know. You talked about the Umar thing, and I think it's
Yeah, I hate it.
interesting.
It bothers me, bro.
Because it's almost like it doesn't even seem like it doesn't seem like it comes from a place of wanting it to be better.
It's
just
always that.
wanting to make it worse.
There you go. Like it's kind of like you trying to spark a flame. You know what I'm saying?
Like it just like can't we?
Yeah,
Can't we actually get along though? Like isn't that the point?
Bro, listen to me. I will tell you this. In these days, it's more of us than the Dr. Umars. Everybody has to follow something. This is why religion has reigned supreme since the beginning of time. The Game, remember, said something years ago. And I was like, man, why did he say that? He said, bro, 70% of the world is dumb as fuck. They sheep.
Yeah.
The 30% that make the difference. So, you got to understand and respect that. A lot of people go into situations using that as their leverage to control, manipulate, and gain.
Using what?
Playing on that. You got a group of people over here, right? They need a reason or an excuse to justify their situation.
Yeah.
And they don't want to accept that their situation is what it is because of their lack of not doing certain things.
Their choices. Because
So
of their
then
choices.
you get a guy like this says, it's because the white guy or the Jewish guy
Yeah.
are doing this, right?
Yeah.
And what they say, yeah, that's right. This is not because I'm over here getting high. This is not because I don't know how to read and write. This is not because I'm an alcoholic. This is not because I have a problem getting to work on time. This is because they're oppressing me. And they roll with it.
Yeah. It's sad.
It's what it is. It's reality. I mean, it's the world we live in. I mean, we could strive for perfection, but me and you both know, like, we'll never see what that looks like or know what that looks like on the overall. So now you have to isolate yourself and your world and your mountain. I have a mountain. See, I have this mountain, and I tell people this. Stop coming down the mountain, they can't get up, right? You can look over there, okay, that's my buddy's mountain. Okay, that's Floyd Mayweather's mountain. That's Nick Cannon's mountain. That's my other brother's mountain. And guess what? We got planes and helicopters and we got birds and we can send a message to, right, when we want to communicate. Everybody down there is trying to get up there. And when you just don't give it to them, then they want to pull you back down there, right? And this is just the world we live in. Try to perfect your perfect. and close out how it is. I mean, you know, we're going to die learning and we're going to die trying. You know that.
Yeah. Yeah. I just feel like people are so focused on it, what the internet makes it worse, on what other people either have based on what they don't have. So it's like, yeah, it's easier. It's easier to be the victim in the thing.
Well, me and you both know the dangerous part about the internet is a nobody can become somebody if the right person bites on the wrong troll. If I go on there and this dude, I get 1 million of them a day, right? They'll put my name in the headline. They'll just make up stuff. I've seen stuff where this is the most craziest one. 50 Cent disrespects Wack 100. So you press play, right? They have a bunch of different 50 Cent interviews to where he's talking, but they got it muted. And then the dude will be running something. Yeah, on this thing, Wack 100 does this. And then 50 Cent, he'll be saying what 50 Cent said but never said, but he's in the back. So the perception is as if
he said it.
Right?
It's
but
fake.
then it's little Mike's channel, Mike's TV, right? So if I go and respond and say, hey, Mike's TV, screw you, and you this, and your mama this, and your mama that, they like, who is Mike? Now, my fan base who follows me, who is Mike? Now, the wrong troll. I responded to the wrong troll. So now this guy that is nobody overnight becomes somebody because he created a lie that man ticked me off and I responded to it.
Yeah.
You don't have to do no hard work. You don't have to really be an athlete. You don't have to be a successful entrepreneur, a rapper, a musician to get that YouTube, because a lot of people don't realize the YouTube streets are the YouTube streets. They are equivalent to the ghetto streets, right?
You just got to be good at editing.
Yeah, just because you're in the YouTube streets, they think the world knows who they are. They really believe this, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It goes to I had a dude the other day that I helped get a little attention say, I got power.
Who?
One of the little dudes I helped him.
Okay.
I taxed him on the way up. That's how you know if I mess with you. I don't charge you, I mess with you. If I charge you, you just a pawn on the board. You know, I'm going to sacrifice you one day. That's just how it works. But people really think that this gives them power and some say-so in a voice. It's crazy. Brother, you got I know where I'm at right now. I know the value of this over here.
Yeah.
And this was here before you took this room and created this. This is just something else you started doing. So who you are and where you came from was prior to this.
Yeah.
And I tell people that if your start is here, then stop talking to people who already were who they were. And because of who they are, people want them to sit here. It's a difference. But it's watered it down. The perception of it is crazy. You could be who you want to be. And it's a brainwashing. Some of us can handle it, some of us can't. Is it money in it? Yes. How do you get it? It's different ways.
Yeah.
You got our brother Vlad, who's one of the, kings of this stuff, who pioneered this. He runs the subscription-based thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Adam does his a little different. Academic sits there 8 hours a night, and he got 5 different platforms going on off his one.
He's good.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's doing that way, right? So Joe Budden, everybody's doing doing what they doing, how they doing it. And all of these guys are a door for me. They're a resource for me.
Yeah.
As I am for them.
Right.
And I'd rather put the time and attention to build those relationships than hanging in the park with the homies.
Yeah. That's how you got it.
I know what that's going to get me. Your ass going to get shot. You going to go to jail. It ain't going, it's There's nothing good gonna come from it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, quick interruption for the podcast. Monarch Money. You guys are tired of being like, yo, where the fuck is all my money going? Because I know for sure there's been plenty of times in my life when I'm like, man, I don't even know what the fuck I spent this on. I don't know where the money went, but Monarch Money is a really easy platform. You guys have like basically an app on your phone to see exactly where all your money goes in fucking real time. So you don't have to worry about, are you overspending on this, overspending on that, not spending enough in certain categories? It's a really great way to help you organize your financial goals and really just have a clear understanding of where your money is going. That's one of the biggest things I think people don't even like think about. If you're just relying on like bank statements to see where your money going, sometimes it can be confusing. But Monarch Money is a really easy way, a really good platform to see everything like very directly, so you know what you need to cut out. So that if you're trying to save money for something important or you want to invest in something specific, go to monarchmoney.com. Use code RAWTALK right now, and you'll basically get 50% off your first year on the platform. Again, that's monarchmoney.com, code RAWTALK right now. Let's get into this podcast.
You get what I'm saying?
Did you ever have beef with 50?
No, never.
No.
Never. Matter of fact, my guy, Uncle Murder, over there, has been with him the last 5-6 years. We're very close. His DJ Robbie Rob, through my brother K Slay, rest in peace, we're very close. And Tony Yayo, me and Tony Yayo then ran across each other 2-3 times, always been respectful. But I kind of catch it because of the game factor with me. And when Game was going through that with 50, I wasn't nowhere around.
Oh, I see.
But when me and Game started running together, doing business together, everybody know I'm going to take the side with the Game. But even with that, even the Game himself, he's been at a point in his life as a father to where whatever happened, bygones are bygones. Game is like a sleeping giant. Big old dude, 6'5", very capable, but kind-hearted, big heart. And unless you go over there kicking the bear, you don't got to worry about it.
Yeah, you saw the stuff recently with Kanye where he gave him the Maybachs and was like, yo, what the fuck, take these back?
Yeah, because Kanye
funny.
got mad about him being cordial with somebody on there. But that's Ye. You know, that's my guy too. Me and Ye very close. We've done a lot. We went to see Elon Musk together down there for a day or so, down in Brownsville, Texas, SpaceX. But you know, Ye's one of those guys that he's over generous, and in his mind, he expects the same in return.
Yeah.
So his enemies are your enemies.
Yeah.
And if they're not your enemy, don't show no signs that they're your friends. That's just Ye though.
Yeah.
That's Ye. I told Academics. He called me and I said, bro, Ye rocking with you. Like, keep it right. And he said, hey, bro, I got a certain call from a certain individual who wants me to interview him. I said, nah, brother, don't do that. If you do that, it's going to be no more Ye. I think right now.
Who was it?
I think right now.
I was trying to know who the individual
It
is.
was Jim Jones.
Okay.
I think right now, I said, Jimmy has a lot of platforms he can go to. And I see he ended up on Angela Yee and telling his story. I said, right now, you never know what could come from you being that close to Ye. Ye's a dude that you'll look up and get a $10 million contract because you're there with him.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Crazy.
Like I've seen it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know what? Give that to my guy. You can
Yeah.
handle that, right? And then me and you, I'll bring you in on my thing. And you be like, damn, where does this come from?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I told him, sometimes you got to be selfish in this game.
Who do you think, because that's a lot of power, who do you think has the most power in the industry right now, artist-wise?
Artist-wise, Jay-Z. Artist-wise.
Yeah.
I got to still, even though he's more than just an artist, he's in the artist lane.
Yeah.
I would say Jay-Z. I'm going to tell you why. Everything he can do that he doesn't necessarily do, like albums, touring, his own personal brand deals, everything he can go do, the drop of a hat, to generate millions and millions of dollars that he doesn't have to do. He's in position to control the platforms that other people do them on.
Yeah, that's fucking.
Now we have to factor in his enhancements. His wife.
Yeah.
Like, just be real.
Yeah.
Now, you know, she's a part of him and he's a part of her.
Right.
So you got to look at that resource, whatever that may be, right? He benefits from that and she benefits from him. So right now, when it comes to that, I would say Jay-Z. Who's our Braveheart? Who's our is Jay? Because you watched it. He made that first move, they tore him down. Everything detached. 90% of the people like, Jay's done. We look up a year, 18 months later, he comes back, evaluated at even more than prior, but now in control and has put a wall up to where Yeezy and his catalog is what's driving the value, and he's 100% in control of, and nobody can detach to bring him down right now. And I hate to say it, that's my brother, and I hope it doesn't happen. But it's only one thing they can do to stop Ye right now.
What do you think it is? Obviously himself.
No, because himself has stopped himself and it still didn't stop him.
It's true.
It's only one thing they can do to stop him. And if they do it, they'll make him a martyr.
Oh, yeah.
It's nothing else. Whenever he does what people consider crazy things, his fans go stream more.
Yeah.
They go buy more.
Yeah.
He's in total control when it comes to that. He said, you know what? And I didn't understand it. You know, it's crazy because my guy, when me and Ye was running around together daily, he said, hey, bro, tell Ye we got 30 million for him to go do a short run for us. You know, maybe 7 to 10 dates, and we'll cover all his production costs and travel. I'm excited. You know, I'm excited. Shit, 30 million. Boy, I get 5% of that. I'm all right, right? Yeah. Yay, bro, Ye tells me, all right, Wack, tell your guy how much does it cost for me to buy his company and then I'll tour for me or buy into his company so I can work for me. Either way it goes, Ye's not working for nobody but Ye. And I'm looking at him like, yeah, I know you got some money, but I mean, 30 million is 30 million. I mean, damn, yeah, we get it done in 8 days, 10 days. I'm looking at it, but seeing what he went through
makes sense.
Makes sense because what if he was in the middle of a tour and he said something? Now the company says, well, out of respects to such and such, we're gonna
pull the rest of this. Yeah.
So he eliminated all that, and he's the only one I know in this game that's renegade the way he is, survived the hit, and still in control of the way he is. So, and when you look at it, bro, they both come from the same camp. That's the Rockefeller camp.
Yeah. Yeah, Ye's fucking, it seems like he got completely tore down at one point to like come back way.
Now, who's the most successful independent label of all time? I'm going to roll with Cash Money. Who is the current independent label that's on the rise? Then I'm going to roll with QC and Top Dog Entertainment.
Yeah.
Right? And all those guys, I just acknowledge once again, as I tell you, when I tell you I have mentors and partners and comrades, all those guys are just a call away from me. every last one of them.
Do you think the stuff, because there's a lot of stuff said about like that whole Drake Kendrick beef is like the botting and all the shit that goes on behind the scenes and like the sort of cheating of numbers, and you see all that stuff?
Yeah, I seen it, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I understand the music industry, right?
Yeah.
So let's understand this. Management and label. It's the artist's job to produce the product.
Right.
Nobody could do what the artist does. It's his voice, it's his likeness, is, you know, he produces that. He picks the beats, he does. He rhymes the way he rhymes to turn it in, right? Once the artist does that, he's back in the corner, right? Because at that point in time, it's on management and the label to now set up the marketing and the promo of the product that's turned in. This is a rollout. The artist isn't summoned again until it's time. Video. Post this. We need you to go on radio. We need you to go sit with a podcast, right? Or it's time to get on stage, right? So now you have a situation in where you have the artist being penalized for what management in the building chose to do.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be. Now, it's you didn't open up a can of worms, so don't get nervous over there, because we're going to go there.
No, I'm ready.
We about to go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to sound like a Drake Glazer in a second.
So now you have a Drake. We all have a Drake in our family. And shout out to Drake. I fuck with Drake. Ain't nobody on the West Coast saying we want to do nothing to Drake. Drake is still Drake. Overall, I still think Drake's the top streamer.
Yeah.
All of that. Right? But Drake, you know that little cousin or that brother who they never lost a game and they always came in first in the 100-yard dash, and then one day he just had a bad day or he met that guy. We all got a guy in the neighborhood who could kick everybody's butt, right? And then you had a guy who couldn't really kick everybody's butt, but for some reason, the guy that couldn't kick everybody's butt could kick this one guy's butt that could kick everybody's butt, right? It's his nemesis, right? Drake takes an L in the battle, in the rap battle, okay? Because overall, when you look at the numbers, they're still going to spell out Drake.
Yeah.
He takes an L in the overall rap battle, okay? Drake doesn't do like Mike Tyson did with Buster Douglas. He took it on the chin. Man, I was getting high, I wasn't training, got my ass whooped. Drake starts to blame the label. You and Kendrick are under the same label. Different indies, UMG, right?
Yeah.
You guys did this, you guys did that. Let me tell you something, bro. They did that for both of them. Let's just hypothetically speaking. Drake, Kendrick. Win, lose, or draw, we win anyway, as UMG's thinking.
Of course.
Okay. Program them for the first 10 million. Let's just say this how this went. Both of them. All right. Fight. They're both guaranteed to do 10 million because of, let's say, programming. Allegedly.
You talking about programming like the bots and stuff?
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, okay.
As Drake is making claim. So, Kendrick and Drake, both 10 million, right? Shh. Now, this is where Drake becomes a little peon. When it got to the 10 million that both you guys were guaranteed because you're both under the same umbrella, Kendrick's 10 gets to 13. Drake get to 11. His 13 got to 17. Drake gets to 12. Now, everything after that 10 million are the people speaking. See, I say that to say this. Drake, for the very same thing they used to make you who you are today, you turned around and became a whistleblower because it didn't go your way. Now, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Kendrick just broke a record. Over $9 million generated. Was
Single
those,
show.
One show.
Yeah.
Was those bots or those asses in seats?
I don't know the answer to that.
Oh, you know the answer to that.
There'll probably be people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is,
I could be cynical and be like, they bought the seats, you know,
bro,
that's the internet.
What I'm saying is, like, brother, it's like two quarterbacks who both got bad knees and y'all both got cortisone shots. And this quarterback came out and threw for 500 yards and 8 touchdowns. And the other quarterback came out and had 100 yards, 5 interceptions. And he says, yeah, but they gave him a cortisone shot. You had one too.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying,
I get what you're
bro?
saying. My thing, when I look at it from the outside, though, is would Kendrick be as popular as he is right now without shitting on Drake?
Okay.
And the reason why I said that is because...
Wait. What do you mean shitting on Drake? See, don't do that.
The beef.
Don't do that.
Because it didn't start... It wasn't like Drake came out of nowhere and was like, fuck you. The first time it started was from Kendrick. We know this.
Listen, did he say his name? Or did he say, ain't no big three, it's just a big me?
It started before that.
No.
And he did say his name.
No,
but this one is that one. It's the same thing.
No. Because I call Flack originally. Remember, we shot 100 game featuring Drake. We brought him to Compton. Top Dog is my family.
That song. I love that song.
Top Dog is my family. Kendrick's my family. The whole TD, everybody over there, right? 2 T's, everybody. But even at that time, I didn't know it was a problem. So I say that to say this. You know how we can say it was a problem with Game and 50. Bro, only the hip hop heads knew about the little intricate BS
I see what you're saying.
that was being said. It was like a hip hop thing. It was you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a beef.
I see what you're trying. I see what you're saying.
Right? Because
Okay.
I was like, when they called me, I'm like, bro, I'm like, man, I didn't even know because I'm not keeping up with the little conscious rap, little jabs, right?
Right.
If you ain't saying, hey, this, or this, I don't know about it, right? I'm saying, you don't think that bro is doing some crying, bro? Come on, bro. Come on.
I know, but
Come on. Look.
But can you answer this though? Do you think Kendrick would be as hot as he is right now without shitting on Drake? Because for me, the reason why I asked that is after the
But
fact,
he didn't start it. He baited him. I will say he baited him. But
okay.
And I
Hold on. The reason why I say it is because after the fact, there's still so much promo, like the fuck Drake, but now listen to Kendrick kind of shit.
No, hold on.
It's a lot of that.
Hold on. The people are speaking. You showed me in the last 6, 7 months, 8 months, outside of the Super Bowl performance, where Kendrick was still talking about Drake. He came and dropped a album, 12 songs, that he put underground artists from LA on it, underground artists. It outran Drake's, him and Party's 12 songs to stream. Follow me.
Yeah.
Outstream their 22 songs of 2. See, the more songs you got on there, the more action you got at streams.
Right.
So, do I think he baited Drake? I think he baited Drake, J. Cole, and Future, or whoever else considered themselves the big 3. Whoever, and see, that's some West Coast type of stuff. Because we taught over here to beat our chest against all odds. See, that song, even though that Tupac is from New York, right? Against all odds, that mind frame came from him running around with that West Coast team, right? Against y'all odds, go in there and do what you got to do. He said, ain't no big 3, it's the big me. J. Cole did what? What J. Cole do?
Yeah, he talked some shit, then jumped out.
Drake chose
Yeah.
because I know why he chose. I'm beating my chest. I'm the king. Why I think he the king? I remember when Kendrick Lamar was in a little Sprinter following Drake's tour buses around on Drake's tour.
Yeah.
I remember. I think I went to the show in Fresno. I stopped through and caught up with him and went in there. But so in his mind, this is one of my students, one of my kids. Let me go spank him real quick.
Yeah.
He thought this was going to be an in and out. And he probably went in there a little too cocky, a little too arrogant, underestimating it, and stepped in that ring, and Kendrick started dropping them peas on him, man. And he couldn't handle it.
I just found it interesting. They went towards the whole pedophile thing. Is like that was
Kendrick never called him a pedophile. I'm waiting. I love these debates.
He didn't?
Tread lightly now.
Wait, he didn't?
Never.
Like word for word, are you saying?
You tell me where Kendrick called him a pedophile. Did Kendrick call him a pedophile or did the people
Wait,
call
am
him a
I
pedophile?
missing something here?
Hey, we talking.
Is this not like in the song?
Hey, listen, youngster over there behind the board.
Can you pull some shit
Feel
up?
free to help him out. Now
Please
tell
help
him,
me out here.
tread light. Where did he call him a pedophile?
I thought in that song he said that shit.
I don't want you to think a thought.
Okay,
No, I want
pull
you to know.
Pull up this
I
fucking
want
song.
you to know.
All right, pull up this fucking song, dude. Pull up the
I
lyrics.
want to know where he called him a pedophile. Where did he call him a pedophile?
No, not
Now
this song,
remember, this is Kendrick Lamar. He is very crafty. He's very lyrical.
This
He's
song
very
is,
strategic. I want to know where he called. Well, you want to just pull up the lyrics? You can just pull the lyrics up and find out where he called him a pedophile.
Isn't there a bar about
Now remember when we called
certified pedophiles right there?
Listen,
Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles.
he called.
Wop,
wait,
wop, wop.
He said who? Certified pedophile.
Certified lover boy. That's what he calls it. Question mark. See that? The question mark.
Who's he?
Certified lover boy is. That's where insinuating that's Drake.
Wait, what?
That's
But
Drake.
no, I just
he
warned
made a song
you.
called Certified Lover Boy.
I just warned you.
I know, but listen.
I warned you.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Let
That
me go.
he is very look.
It's
when
not
we-
even crafty. This
look,
is just not
no.
crafty.
When we started this, right?
Go ahead.
I said he baited him because even when he said "Ain't no big three, it's the big me," he never said Drake. Right now, let's go over.
Okay.
Certified Lover Boy.
Question mark. And now, Certified Lover Boy would be the album title of one of Drake's albums. Yes,
It could be.
it is. It is.
What else could it be?
No, it's literally
Did
that.
he say
though.
Drake's?
But we know
album?
what he's saying though.
No,
like
we don't. You're insinuating.
No, you're acting. You're
this
acting
is-
stupid.
No,
in
no,
this.
I'm not.
You totally
No,
are.
no,
I
I'm
swear
not.
to God, bro.
This is what makes Kendrick so great.
No, he's saying
Because of these conversations. Listen, certified lover boy, certified pedophile.
Right.
Now, there's a gentleman around Drake who had these charges. If you keep reading it, you're gonna see, right, that he's, A minor. That's a note, right?
Yeah, but like you're like avoiding the
No, I'm not. It's a note, right? This is what makes him so great.
Okay, but let me ask you a question.
What?
Do you think everyone listen to that song and go, "Oh, he's not talking about Drake in this beef"? directed
Everyone
at
meaning
Drake?
who? The fans?
Everyone.
Okay, so now.
And then we talk about his house. Is that not his house? And that's not a map thing showing like where pedophile things are. That's a thing.
But guess what? He's saying people around him because it's a dude, the Baca, whatever his dude, who had a charge, right?
Right.
Now, listen. This is no different. The insinuations, because it's crazy. You guys only cry about these because he lost. What's the difference between these insinuations and Drake's insinuations that Kendrick beats his wife, that his best friend / manager had sex with his wife, that the child she has is the man? What's the difference? Kendrick didn't cry one time. You know what he did? He fired back.
True.
If Drake's song would have did to Kendrick what Kendrick's songs did to him, nobody will be saying, but nothing.
I hear what you're saying. I think because this angle at the time specifically too,
Bro, it's wordplay. Do I know where he's coming from? That's what makes it. Oh, did you hear it?
I know, but
Replay it.
And at this time, it was like the worst possible thing.
Why?
Well, it's in my opinion, it's one of the worst possible things you can call anyone. Like anyone could be accused of
He
that.
didn't
It's the
never
worst.
call him that.
It's the worst possible thing you can insinuate about anyone and make people believe. Being a pedophile is the worst. I'm not saying that.
You don't
like,
think
I'm not
telling a man his wife
of course
is having sex with his best friend manager and the child. This Kendrick's listen. There's no documentation to show that Drake has ever been a pedophile. There's documentation to show that Drake may have had some distasteful potential pedophile ways. Do you agree?
Because
tread lightly.
Because of the song stuff that he said about like the younger
kids. Asking, do you agree?
I don't know.
I come from the Hunter side of the trenches, Clubhouse.
You tell me.
You know what I'm
saying? Show me the documentation.
Do you agree?
I don't know that there's documentation.
That Drake may have, that there's some documentation that may be a little distasteful and that could lean towards, some things he may not have said or done with a minor.
I have no idea. I don't know where this documentation is. Can you
pull it up?
You playing? Can you pull it up?
Ask your guy. He know what I'm talking about.
Can you pull up the
Can we go to
documentation?
Colorado? Can we go to his concert? Just put Drake concert minor on stage.
Okay.
I want you to watch this. Now I'm telling you,
So
my
you're saying
brother,
he did it to himself?
I'm lining you up right now.
You saying he did it to himself?
You might change your thoughts on him. There you go. Can you let him hear it?
Okay, play it. Yeah.
No, but I'm watching. Look, there you go. Don't pull no Napoleon stuff on me.
Oh no, that's what
Captain Tazar, y'all go come out on me then.
No, I would have said you got to get off the stage.
No. Listen, how old are you? Watch what he says. Watch this. 17, why do you look like this? What we talking about, bro? But no,
What year was this?
Drake was about 23, 24, baby. But what I'm telling you is when you battle rapping, right? You have a team.
Yeah, they found all this. Yeah.
See, I understand what's going on, right? This is why Cell Block 1 and A minor, even though he flipped it like it could have been a note.
Yeah.
You know why it got to Drake? Because it was some truth in it. If I came in here right now and say, fool, you think we don't know about you? All you mess with is old ladies. Everybody you deal with is in the 70s. You can't even get a young, hot chick. Are you going to care about that?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know why you're not going to care about it? It's not true.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sit back and I want to. Listen, Adam didn't tell you who he was sending.
No.
You didn't do your homework on me? You do know I represent the Hunter side, right?
No,
you do understand.
I get you. I've never seen that clip. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You cannot come into this cage with me and you
Listen. All I was saying was that I didn't know about this clip, fair. All I was saying was at the time when this beef went down, it was just the worst possible thing you could ever be called because of like, that was also the time on the internet. It was like everyone's catching pedophiles and it was just a massive
brother, right now, Donald Trump. I'm a Trump supporter. Do I agree with everything? No. But do I understand his angles? Yes. Trump is issuing tariffs. He's doing all kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now, Trump is doing this because he has already did his homework on what he wants to do. Kendrick knew that when he said these things, when he made certain insinuations, it was going to come down to questioning his credibility on what he's saying. Although it's battle rap, anything goes. It's even stronger if you can show something that supports what you're saying.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what happens is people jump out there like you did, right? Like you did, in defense of. Now, as I put something in front of you about Mr. Drake, Can you find something that Drake said about Mr. Kendrick and put it in front of me?
I think there's some articles about this whole like this hitting your girl shit, no?
I don't know.
You don't know, but you knew about this one.
I mean, I know about this one. I don't know. Hey, brother, I'm going to be real. 7 out of 10 of my friends I know got the same shit. We done got mad, kicked the door down, broke a window on the way out. She get pissed off. She mad because we didn't told her we go in the Rosie house, screw you. Let's be real, bro.
That's fair.
Now, if you pull up, I'm going to be real. You pull up some pictures, like some of these people, you know, like the homegirl Gigi. She been exposing this one dude and she shows the pictures with the black eyes and all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
Now we can say that's what it is, right? But what I'm saying is it's a rap battle, rap beef. I think Kendrick's team dug a little deeper, did more research than Drake's team. But then I've been knowing Kendrick since he been a youngster. It ain't too much you gonna find on him. He's a very simple dude. He grew up in what we call the Mecca of Compton, the West Side, right? He wasn't a kid or a young man that tried to gangbang. He was a guy that the gangbangers like, hey, get your little ass in the house. This ain't for you. So it ain't like people could say, oh, you was a mark, you was a punk, you was a reject, right? He's not caught up in the designer. He's very simple. He's still with this high school sweetheart. He don't drink. He don't get high. Like, it's kind of like he's a damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's hard to fight that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say this on your show today. And one day this episode going to go through the roof. It's going to do that anyway. Not Like Us is going to really become a reality when the powers that be start fighting back. When the powers that be put Drake in that Bill Cosby seat, put Drake in that Puff Daddy seat, put Drake in that R. Kelly seat.
You think that's going to happen?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what's going to happen. Let me ask you something, brother. Have you ever looked up and saw one of your people get in trouble for something that all of you guys did because it was the norm? And you're like, oh shit, he really got in trouble for that? We all do that. I didn't look at it that way.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Okay. In this industry, when it comes to women, you tell me an artist who's not on top of the world on the urban side that hasn't flew a chick in. You tell me an artist
not one.
that haven't gotten
Not
the
one.
DMs and said, you want to come to Miami?
Not one.
And she came down there and she hung out and he screwed her and she did everything and it was consensual and then he sent her back. See, the Man Act of 1910 is what they hitting Mr. Puffy with. It's called sex trafficking. And when
Because of flying state lines. Yeah, it's weird.
no, it ain't even got to be state lines. If I send a black car Uber to Studio City to meet me over here, and I take her to that boulevard, to the hotel, and send her back in that black car, they call it sex trafficking. So what I'm telling you is this. When you dancing with that two-headed dragon, you could take your shots. But me and you both know, what do we fear the most that dragon's gonna do eventually when they open their mouth? Breathe the fire.
But that's...
Do you really think that they're not gonna strike back? Do you really think that they don't have internal teams that people don't see, that know what they know? Do you really think it's not a group of women out there who thought that they were it and they never got a call back?
No, of course.
Oh,
But
okay.
so you're insinuating,
I'm not insinuating nothing.
or you're saying straight up.
This is facts. Listen.
So you believe that at some point throughout this whole lawsuit that Drake's has with UMG currently, that at some point they're going to come out and be like, well, look at this.
No, they're not going to come out and say nothing. It's going to come out.
And you think it's going to be an underage thing? Or it's just going to be a...
I don't, listen, and I will say this.
Because like in all those
Do
situations...
I think Drake will willingly deal with somebody underage? No. Do I think that it could potentially happen because somebody has a fake ID or something? Yeah. Yes, right? We're not talking underage. Do I think Drake's a molester, pedophile? No.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a Drake hater. I love Drake.
Yeah.
I know Drake. He's always been cool with me. But I understand the game he's playing. Who I blame, him partially, and I blame them people around him who's scared to lose their job. I don't give a damn if you fire me. As long as I did something to get it through your head of what you're not supposed to do, I did my job.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? The Secret Service, when they moving with that president of the United States, they are trained to, long as he got back, if you took a bullet to keep the president safe, that's you doing your job.
Right.
President get hit, you didn't do your job, right? So what I'm saying is, somebody's supposed to tell him like, bro, let me talk to you. Look at what's going on. Soon as you start to violate your handler, shit's been happening to the greats. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. But didn't you just say earlier about like, it's how real is it then? If it's like,
What you mean how real? That shit
I mean,
is,
but it gets, isn't it contrived? Isn't it forced?
what's
Like
forced?
the lawsuits, right? Because you're telling me right now you think that there's going to be a legit lawsuit against Drake from a different direction.
Lawsuit.
Criminal accusation.
I hope all it is a lawsuit. Because a lawsuit means he spent a little money, he gonna lose his status because when these type of accusations come at you, we all know how it goes. Companies is dealing with you, they back up. It's just what it is. It's the politics of that situation. So if it comes, I hope it's just civil. But brother, you ain't finna kick the dragon in the ass and don't think eventually they ain't gonna breathe no fire.
Yeah. And you're saying the dragon is the labels, the owners,
No, I'm saying, see, if you take UMG, you're thinking music, right?
yeah, the label.
Now
Yeah.
I want the Caucasian part of you to really kick in. If I put UMG in front of you,
Yeah. I love that you said that. Go ahead.
because you got to remember, a lot of my knowledge comes from my Middle East partners, my Jewish partners,
Yeah.
my Caucasian partners. The things I know I didn't learn at the dinner table when I was on Desmond Street in Pacoima, California.
I hear you.
We put UMG in front of you. And I tell you, what does that represent? The first thing you're going to do when the Caucasian side of you kick in and say, who are the owners of UMG, right?
Right.
And then once you see the owners of UMG, then you say, well, who are they partners with, right? Ferrari, Pepsi, Hilton, right? And then you say, well, who are they tied to? Hey, brother, UMG, if you break it down, probably is tied to $100 trillion businesses.
Right.
So when UMG gets hurt,
They all get hurt. In a way. Yeah. And they're not having that.
there you go.
Yeah.
Godfather.
It's gonna.
How did he
So
break?
what, you think that like that's coming?
What? Now I want the Caucasian part of you to kick in again. Because you got to remember, brother, I didn't learn this from my tribe. You know what we do. You do something to us, we just want to go do something to you in the open, very loud,
Yeah.
right? How do they operate?
Yeah, it's exactly how they operate.
You understand what I'm saying? Remember when we started this interview, I said it's the side of me that I've learned and inherited from my friends that make me different from the rest. I understand it.
Yeah.
I understand politics. You understand politics, right?
Of course.
Politics and right and wrong, two different things.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. That's fucking true.
Your guy over there could be flipping me off behind that screen, right? And I can see him. And as men, he's dead wrong, right? Right?
Yeah.
That's your guy, right?
Yeah.
So if I jumped up to kick his ass, what did the politics say you got to do?
I'm stopping you.
But he's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Still my
The
guy.
politics of a situation,
Yeah.
I'll make a right situation wrong or a wrong situation right, depending on the politics of the situation. And the politics of him attacking UMG, as he sees it, UMG says you're attacking 30, 40 other entities
Yeah.
that stretch God knows where. When the last time you see somebody attack UMG with this type of, let's get away from the word money. They don't give a fuck about the money. They got it.
Yeah, they got it.
Scrutiny and embarrassment.
Never. I haven't.
Do you really think they're going to leave that door open?
Nah.
Or you're going to make an example? I mean, this is just a kind of street guy talking to you. Listen, I don't want you to, I hope I didn't get, did I get the Caucasian
No,
side
just
of you going?
realistically, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a, there's no question about what would happen. Yeah.
Brother, now, they got patience. They not like the hood where they you ain't, it's just going to start happening.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Slow build.
By the time we seen Puff's situation, I told people, when he filed the lawsuit against the liquor company, I said he just made the biggest mistake of his life.
Fuck. You're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong.
So
Well,
this
but-
is why Wack 100, the character, moves the way he moves. See, Wack 100 is an entertainer's name created by one and only DJ K. Slade, probably 2010. Wack was the street guy.
Yeah.
Cash Jones is the brain, the strategist. Wack protects Cash Jones and Wack 100. Wack 100 is a mixture of both. Depending on what type of conversation you want to have is how he's going to entertain you.
Right. It's damn. It would suck, man. That would be fucking.
Remember,
Yeah.
it happened right here
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
You're going to go back and you're going to be like, yo, this dude told us.
I'll call you. I'll call you.
Bro, it's inevitable.
Yeah. Kinda.
They cannot not react the way they want to react.
Yeah, I see. Have you ever been in situations not like this as far as like
Where politics said you could, but you better not?
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had a few of them.
When did you meet Adam? Changing gears a little bit.
Maybe I met Adam maybe 2018,
Yeah.
late 17, 18. I started a division of Cash Money, and we were calling it Cash Money West. And I was looking to sign new artists
Yeah.
and manage them out here, so on and so forth. And back then, Adam was doing like the SoundCloud rapper thing.
Yeah.
And he had the little shows he would do, the little mini concerts he would do. So quite naturally, you know, me being on my management stuff, you know, back then it was Savvy Third, it was Blueface,
Yeah.
those type of dudes I had. I was trying to get a hold of it. Adam wasn't fucking with me for a couple years. But I understood what I was looking at. And I understood that today I'm reaching for him because he's a need for the building of a new artist.
Yeah.
I didn't get mad. I didn't say screw him. I'm gonna do something to you. I was patient. It took maybe 2 years for Adam to say, all right, come up. And even then he put Blueface on the showcase and he allowed me to come up with Blueface to do an interview. And even after that, he shied away from it because I think people started telling him, yo, you know who that dude is, you know this. So I still catch a lot of flack from like eighth party people who don't know me. Because if you telling a guy in 2018, 2019, you know who this dude is, and at that time I'd been out of prison 20 years, ain't gang banged, ain't did none of that. All I did was truck driving, real estate, party promotions. Right? For you to say who you do, you don't know who I am. You going off a myth or what somebody didn't told you, who they didn't told him. It's crazy. I hear stories about myself today I don't even know exist.
Yeah.
It's like they just keep, it's like this group of 10 kindergartens. You start here, by the time they get over here, it's a total different story. So I believe Adam was a little standoffish, but what helped was Compton AD, when he brought Compton AD.
Okay.
That was nephew. I have a strong relationship with him. And even the times where I kind of got mad, I felt irritated, the politics that AD was there meant that I could only go so far anyway. I just had to wait. And I waited and waited and waited. And eventually, he like gave me a call.
Was that was kind of like sort of an end of an era though for No Jumper, like when the people started leaving.
Now I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Most people that come from where I come from, or most people with the normal temperament would have looked and said, oh, everybody left No Jumper. They about to fall. And then he's calling me because he knows that I can bring it back. It's an element of me with him that could probably patch up the boat and get it back sailing. Because of the denial over the years, what would most people have done when they got the call?
Probably said, fuck you.
But I'm not most people.
Yeah.
You know what I did? All right, brother, let's negotiate. And my negotiations was fair. Let's cut it down the middle and let's rock. We damn near 92 shows later.
But didn't he just recently announce a bankruptcy thing?
No. He said No Jumper is going broke.
Yeah.
People should learn from this announcement. No Jumper is going broke. We lost our original No Jumper page where we used to make a ton of money off that paid some of the bills for people paying for postings. The streaming has been down, so on and so forth. What else did he announce? But we're going to start a subscription-based side of No Jumper. For those fans that want to see us around, go ahead on subscribe. It'll help us stay afloat. What he says, right? Within 48 hours, after 6 months of the No Jumper main page being gone, what happened?
I think the page is back.
We must have a fan at Instagram.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, it popped back up.
Can I get that contact? Because I need to get a page back. I was like, yo,
brother,
fuck?
We did all of that. We contacted because the Wack 100 page and the No Jumper page went down around the same time. And my shit was crazy. My 500,000 followers would react like 5 million. Anything I put, it was crazy. We both lost at the same time. So we both filed, and we didn't get no motion. We were like, damn, this must be something going on. But when he made that announcement, within 24 hours, we must have a fan at Instagram that says, I don't want to see No Jumper go down. Bam, we got that. Hey, if this will help y'all out,
gift.
The subscribers shot through the roof.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I got a few tricks up my sleeve that I got to sit down and talk to my brother Adam because I now see him as a brother. We have grown drastically.
What was
over
this
the
thing
last
about
couple
you,
years.
his wife and on Plug Talk? Was that a thing? Your wife?
Oh, my wife and his
Yeah.
wife. Well,
Like, what the fuck was that?
Adam and his wife, they do Plug Talk. So,
Unique
you know,
situation. Yeah, very
yeah,
unique.
you know, they interview the women and then they go back and they do their Plug Talk thing with them, right? So I understand Plug Talk is a total different crowd than the urban side of No Jumper.
Yeah.
My wife, the lovely R&B, y'all follow her R_ANN_B. She has a hairline, R&Beauty over there. She just kicked off. And we have a reality show we're putting together to kind of fill that Kevin Samuels void called Ego, right? So at this point in time, while she's creating her deck, the manager and B came out.
No.
And, you know, I love my woman, so as a man, I don't mind taking a sacrifice here or there. So nobody knew what was going on. Adam walked in. She was sitting down. He say, "Hey, R&B," because this is about the time she had put the tattoo of me on her back, right? So he's like, "I think it's fake. I need to see this tattoo. Stand up." So when she stands up, I'm on the other side. But you know, the management side of me kicks in. He goes to hug her. So you know what I do? Snap, picture. They don't know what I'm doing. I go to the kitchen. I put water on my face.
No.
I start crying and I say, Remo has sent me a video
No.
showing me that R&B, we've been fighting, got a little pissed off at me, and went up to No Jumper behind my back into the Plug Talk session. So Adam's wife gets there. I said, I need you to take her to the back Plug Talk room. Now it's a joke in the video.
Right.
Because they're walking back there and she's showing them everything. And Adam comes in there like, let's get started. And Adam's wife looks at the camera and says, Wack, why are you holding your phone like that? Nobody caught it. So I went and I put me up crying. I put the slide up of them hugging. And I put the video of them up in the Plug Talk room. And her following went from 28,000 to 50 in 48 hours.
So you wouldn't let Adam fuck your wife, though?
No, not at all.
Fuck that.
Crazy.
Okay.
It never happened.
I had to ask that.
But guess what?
I apologize.
Where you think the followers came from? Think it came from the urban side of No Jumper or Lena's side?
Probably Lena's side.
That's definitely where it came from. But Adam is obsessed with my wife. He's obsessed with her.
He's a little obsessed with you, know, too. And didn't he say some gay stuff in his?
That's Adam. You know what? And I think this is why our dynamics are crazy, because Wack 100 now is who? The entertainer, right?
Yeah.
But people see him as the gangster, right? Is not supposed to let the white boy Adam say gay shit. I'm supposed to whoop his ass, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so what do? Brother, I'm in the pilot seat. All right, I'm flying. Is that a rock? I duck, I dodge it, I shoot back at him, I go around it. I don't indulge, but I don't give them what I know they want to see, but they're watching because they're saying, one day, Wack's gonna hit him dead in his goddamn mouth. I know it's coming up. So Adam's gonna continue to say shit, and I'm gonna continue to dodge it and say shit back. But we're the yin and the yang. You know what I'm saying? And we're not supposed to be at the table. He's not supposed to say those things. I'm not supposed to accept them. I'm supposed to whoop his ass. He's supposed to be ran out of LA. All of these factors is what make the Adam and Wack show so successful.
But at one point, you're going to punch him in the face.
Never. It's my brother.
Okay.
I get mad at Adam. I got mad at him another day. I text him. I tell him how he's got mad at me. But, you know, when two people respect each other, right?
Yeah.
They keep that in-house. You know what I'm saying? So Adam's a good dude. R&B loves Adam. She loves Lena. And the respect that he shows my wife every time she posts up and he reposts it.
Yeah.
Adam don't do that type of stuff. You know, this is simple, basic acknowledgement sometimes that you got to, like, and not, know that it's some value there. You know what I mean? So,
sure.
no, that's my brother, man. And I'm working on something great for all of us. You know what I mean? I'm setting up something in Dubai. And all my podcaster friends, I'm going to make sure y'all get a vacation with you and your significant other. Go pick up a big bag, be able to do everything. I'm setting up some things. And all you guys in the sports and athletes, we got some podcast situations setting up in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, that is. That's going to be paying you guys a significant amount of money to go out there, do it 3-4 days, man. Get on that Emirates flight, business class, man, and going out there and see some things. That's my spot. That's my spot. Bro, you know what I like doing the most? Is going to the back, where the bar area is.
Yeah.
So I got this drink, because I don't drink. I call it the Square Biz. It's cranberry juice with Red Bull. So I get it, and I put the little straw in there, and I sip on it, and I make the ugly face that people do when they drinking a hard liquor. And I love it when I got like some real foreigner people back there, and I have the conversation of my life.
Yeah.
I will sit there and I say, order me another one, and they know it's some bullshit. Man, after about an hour out, and I'm taking, like, man, you really taking those things down? Yeah, man, that's what we do out here. And I end up with phone numbers, business connects, all kind of things.
That's funny.
Sober as hell.
That's funny. I like it. You always been kind of like a middleman guy.
Yeah.
You're good at
I'm an
connecting.
octopus.
Yeah.
Straight up. I'm the guy where it can be war, put me in the middle. He needs them to do this and them to do that, and it works.
Yeah. What's your beef with Lefty? Why do you have beef with Lefty?
Adam started that.
Why?
Listen, respectfully, I have so much going on that I don't keep up with the up and coming. Unless you send me something, like, I don't see it. And I know, when these dudes like, yo, I got my clout up and I'm buzzing, they think the world knows, right? And some of us just don't know because you're not in our lane. We just simply, not saying you're not doing your thing, we're just not paying attention to it. I come in. Adam, what do you think about Lefty Gunplay? I don't know if this dude's talking about a rapper, a black guy, a Mexican guy, a guy from Detroit. And I say, man, he probably ain't never even fired a gun in his life. I'm not thinking nothing of it.
Right.
Lefty on his way up. So you know what Lefty did with that. He took it. Fuck Wack 100. That shit. What? I'm the truth, Holmes. You're a fucking liver. So now they like, Wack, you heard what Lefty Gunplay said to you? I'm like, who the fuck is Lefty Gunplay? Now I see who he is. I'm like, damn, why is he mad? Then they play it. I'm like, shit. I didn't even know he was a real person.
But why didn't you just say, I don't know who he is?
Because that's what the common man would say.
Okay.
You're talking to Wack 100. We're here to entertain,
You put a little
right?
spice on it.
We're here to entertain.
Yeah,
so
I
at that
respect
point,
it.
I start trolling back. Now the troll is on. And when you start trolling with me, you troll it with my team. Bro, I took that Clubhouse app somewhere different. I got 39 spies. I got a research team. I got security. I can go in there. What time is it? It's 1:29. They're listening to the Adam and Wack show right now. It's 24/7. Right? Bro, you think I'm playing?
Yeah,
Watch
you're
it.
fucking funny, bro.
Okay, watch this.
You're actually funny.
Look, I'm going to put this in my phone, right? Listen, now the spies, I don't know who they are. They don't talk to me. Bro, look, bro. I'm not playing. If I hit any of them people or these spies, it's
What the
information.
fuck?
Bro, look, watch this.
These are phone numbers. Oh,
I don't know who they are. They're just in my goo. Look, watch this. I'll send them something. Look, don't say it out loud. I sent them something, right?
Yeah. Holy
What?
shit.
Look. They even found his football pictures, right?
Yo, what the
And you
fuck
see who he
is
is?
this?
Bro, this is the 100-sided trenches.
Bro,
of Clubhouse.
that's
Yeah, so when you go to war with me,
that's
when
hilarious.
they hear it, they don't talk to me. I've never heard their voice. They said,
How'd you set that up? That's impressive.
my team, I got the queen, R&B. She's the queen of the 100 side. I got my team. I got Dreas, Lady Killer. I got a whole team. We got brother, this thing over here.
That's fucking hilarious.
This thing of ours has been 24/7 for 3.5 years, never shut down. Rotating 15 different rooms, total different topics. Right now it's 1:30 there, and Sleepers in LA. And right now, they're listening to the Adam and Wack show. I know the schedule by heart, right? So I can go over
And when
here.
they just pull information?
Huh?
They just pull
So
information?
what they do, if I'm on stage and somebody come up there, say like if you was to come up there, right, and you get to talking crazy, they're gonna automatically start digging on you. and then they'll just start sending it to me.
What, like, yeah, I see.
They'll send me, whether it's photos, they're gonna send me anything that can be used to expose or embarrass your ass, right?
Yeah.
Now, depending on if I want to use it, I use it. Now, the only agreement I have with the spies is when they get into it with people on the stage in the chat. So in the chat, they be talking shit. When they text me, I have to say what they saying, regardless if I like it or not. So sometimes I find myself saying things to people on stage that's my friend. But that's our agreement. We're going to be your brain and your research team, and you're going to be our voice. And they sit down there, and these people are bankers. These people are college professors. I do know a few of them have told me, Wack, because you could tell when they're texting you, you can like, you a little different, right? Spy 33 and a third is dangerous.
It's so funny. It's
Bro,
cool.
I showed you.
No,
like,
it's cool. It's cool. I fuck
you
with
get
it.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then I have like
I need that. What
then
the fuck?
Then we got the Crash Out Squad. My man Beast, Keep It G. You know, now the Crash Out Squad is like kind of me and R&B and the 100 Sides protection. So if people come in the room talking crazy, because some of them want me to say something back to them just to have the sound bite, they'll deal with it. And these dudes say some of the most craziest things you ever heard. R&B had disappeared to a room like the relationship side of the app, they be in there. Somebody say something crazy to them, they come off the mic, it's on. So now it's to a point they be like, hold on, R&B in here, don't say nothing crazy. The whole goddamn 100 Side dudes that pop up like it's like
You're
a
not
little
afraid of
coat.
them turning on you?
No, not at all. Not at all. And we've had a few turn on us. Not none of my spies. A few people on stage, but we already know when
When you
they're
say
gonna
on
turn.
stage, you're referencing
Like it's a like like you have the stage. The stage is where people could actually talk
in the Clubhouse app.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
The goo is where they can't talk. There's just in
I
the
see.
chat. They don't never come on stage.
It's
they
like a
never
Twitter
talk.
space.
Yeah,
I see.
But instead of unlike Twitter was only like 8 to 12.
Yeah.
I can have 100 people on there that can talk. 200.
Yeah.
It don't matter. So see, watch this. Sleepers in LA is one of my rooms. Watch.
You use that
Wait,
app?
watch this. What'd I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Adam and Wack show's on right now. I know my schedule.
So they're discussing content.
Well, all day they discuss content. So we have a watch. I'm gonna show you. So if I go to my chat,
You use that app often?
every day.
Yeah.
Okay, so watch this. 100 ENT, right? Watch this. You see all those people that's in here?
Yeah.
All they do is drop content all day. All day.
Well, I need one of these. How the fuck do I get one of these?
All they do is drop content all day. So as they're in the rooms, they're rotating the room, they take the link, pin it up top. We got an audio team. Shout out to my man Eric, A-Rod. We got a team to where we have manipulated to a point to where we have different profiles that's hooked up to their rigs so then they can play the content. Like you see right now, all those people are in there listening to the Adam and Wack show.
Yeah.
So now if I want to run content on you, right? Say me and you get into it, right?
Yeah.
And the spies and went and dug up all kind of shit. I hit the stage, right? I'm running your content. Boom, boom, boom. This dude, look at this dude. This chick said he was a dope fiend. This. Now, the media team. I have a media team that sits down there and record. And they got, within 15 minutes, it's up and it's in YouTube. And then I got teams that watch the media team who grab their stuff and react to it.
Man. So
You get
it's a
what-
nice little network.
Yo, yeah. So it's crazy.
Is it on are they like YouTube shorts or the actual YouTube videos?
YouTube videos are everywhere. Like, if I
How
go,
do I set this up? That's what I want
if
to
I
do.
go 100 media
I need to do
team, like,
this.
look, here's my media team. Look. So like if I need, look, I'll feed them shit. See, that's me feeding them shit, giving them instructions. Or if I need a clip, hey, go find that clip where that dude said on academics, this and this, right? They'll go get it. This is my media team, right?
Oh, I see.
You get what I'm saying? Right there. Like if I'm talking, like, so whatever I need, they know where it's at. You got your spies, your security, your media team, then you got your administration who structures rooms. Like if Kanye, I didn't brought Kanye, Kevin Gates, Birdman, I done brought all kind of people to that. So Kanye's coming to that. So then they'll go in the group, and they'll create the structure of the room, who's gonna be on the stage, what's gonna be the questions. And then I noticed about 2.5 years ago, it was a lot of gay bashing going on, right?
On the platform?
Yeah, people from the community was catching hell. Like, because the big size of the app was our size of the app, and they was like, yo, we don't fuck with none of that. Jason Lee, open gay man, that's my friend. You know what I'm saying? That's my real brother. So we had a transgender named Naughty start coming to our side. Gave Naughty the blues. I mean, I'm sitting back. They're like, yo, you gonna keep letting that transgender come back? The more that Naughty came back, taking the abuse and fighting back, right? The more I was like, I fuck with Naughty, right? As long as everybody know if you don't run, you're gonna get favor from Wack 100. So the more they kept telling me, yo, you gonna keep letting that transgender come back? So you got what they call a leader, which is a regular moderator, and an admin. Admin can go in, control the room, open room. So when they kept telling me you gonna keep letting the transgender come back, what you think I did? Made Naughty a leader. They kept on saying it, I made Naughty an admin. They kept saying it, I called Ray J and put Naughty on the fucking reality show. I'm a wolf, bro. I'm gonna defy you at all costs.
I respect it.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ray J had a show on the Tronics Network called The Gwirls Club. And it was a house of 12 transgenders. Made a call, flew Naughty out from Cleveland up from Ohio, right out here, put Naughty right in the show. Naughty was whooping Sydney Starr's ass on camera from Clubhouse. This is the fact.
What the fuck?
This is the fact. So now since I've done that, and then the trenches, which is our other team, they embrace the same model. They got a transgender over there. Now it's like, it's cool. Don't nobody mess with them. My brother Ion is and what I like about this is that they was able to teach me things I didn't know. I grew up in a gay bashing era.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't understand it. So Ion is queer. He's openly queer. So when I brought Kanye West to the app, I let Ion interview Kanye West. I don't know when they interview Kanye West, talk to him all the time. So they say, damn, Wack, come on, bro, everybody, you let that queer dude, Ion 7 feet tall, from New York. He's 7 feet tall, I swear to God, right? Openly queer dude, and he only deals with men that have never dealt with a woman, right? This is his thing.
Yeah.
I thought calling somebody queer in the community was disrespect. They like, no, that's how I want to be identified. So transgender man, transgender women, bisexual, bi-curious. I didn't know about none of these things, but now when I walk in meetings, I'm comfortable and I'm able to have a conversation with everybody.
Yeah.
Right? So they always wonder why I let Ion do the meet with Kanye West. Oh, well, yay. Well, you know what I noticed? In the hallways and the titles, Ion has a room called Fix My Life, I believe it is. Forgive me, Ion, if I said it wrong.
You're referencing the app right now, right?
The app.
Yeah, okay.
Now watch this. Ion was an extreme Ye hater. So who better, right?
Yeah.
To question Ye than the Ye hater.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
I
when
get you.
Ion questioned Ye after the interview, guess what? Ion became a fan of Ye.
That makes sense.
Right. But I will say I believe it's a great investment. Ion, remember that name. I believe one day he's gonna be on a large platform. He's a 7-foot queer guy who talks that shit You can say somebody's mama, but he'll kill you if you disrespect his cat.
Yeah.
I believe one day Ion's gonna be on a major platform. I swear, I believe this. And guess what happens if he on that major platform and somebody says, "Hey, Wack, hey man, this dude Ion, man, we got a $5 million damn deal for him, man. Can you get a hold of him?" Guess what Ion will forever do when his phone says Wack 100? He's gonna answer
for
it.
sure.
Right? So what's the method to my madness?
You wouldn't want to interview Kanye?
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
For what? I didn't talk to him a million times.
Maybe you could tell him to come on this podcast.
If he's in town, I get a hold of him. His Jason Lee, I set him up
I'd
with that
love to
one.
interview Kanye.
Talking to Ye, you're gonna have 5 different conversations at the same time. It's up to you and your brain if you can keep up to which ones he's switching to and switching back to at a continuous flow. Right?
I think I can do it.
Ye's a mastermind. He's misunderstood. If you make a haste decision off of what he just said, you're gonna miss it. It's always a method to his madness. Always. Even with this, what he's doing with the swastika and the KKK thing, the Klan thing, right? A lot of people are taking it personal. And what he's doing is dethroning and devaluing
The imagery.
what it used to stand for.
Right.
That's what he do. If the LAPD start wearing red bandanas and the sheriff start wearing blue bandanas, like the Crips and the Bloods, they be like, "Yo, bro, the police wearing that shit. We may not want to do it no more."
I see what you're saying. It's interesting.
So you know, he's never just like doing something to do it.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, he's a different monster. I love him to death, man. Yeah, he's one of them dudes you ain't got to talk to him for 2 years, but he's still gonna love you the way he was loving and respecting the last time he saw you.
Yeah. Well, those are real friends.
Yeah,
Sure.
So.
Who have you met in this industry that you like the most in the music industry?
I got a lot of those, man. People that I know that have my best interests at heart.
Yeah.
QCP, Birdman,
Yeah.
Top Dog, Alan Grunblack. You know, all my artists, you know, Game, Ray J. The other day, remember about 2 weeks ago, 2:00 in the morning, I get a call. Birdman and QCP on the phone. Grill me. Hey, we don't get in your business, but slow down on the internet. We don't like what we saying. They my brothers. You know
For
what I'm
what,
saying?
though?
It didn't matter. I asked them. They said, we ain't going to tell you for what. Just slow down. Right? They're my brothers. I'm not going to question them because if I'm incapacitated or if I'm in a coma or whatever, my family could call on those men, and actually they're going to call my family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as long as they're good, I'll always be good and vice versa. But yeah, you know, I got a lot of my man, Headliner Mike. He runs Live. You ever down in Miami?
Yeah.
Give me a call. I can make sure I set that up. But it's a lot of people, you know, that I got a lot of love and respect for. Top Dog, my mentors. These guys are, you know, I'm not bigger than the program. You know, my mentors, you know what I mean? My other brother out of Philly, I don't really say his name that much because he's not a social media, but he knows who I'm talking about. You know, my mentors, people that teach me things.
Yeah.
People that are not scared to pull my coattails. Hey, slow down. You know what I mean? People that champion me and be like, hey, you can do it. Keep climbing. Get back up. So, you know, man, I got a lot of people that do good business with me, man. Mike Kaiser, you know what I mean? Kevin Lyles. I mean, all the greats, all the names, you know what I mean?
But it seems like the people that stand out are the people that push you to be better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But those people, when I'm getting the push, those people that need to be a stepping stone and open up a door, they're just as important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm headed down the lane. They're like, well, I go that way, I'm going that way. I'm like, God damn, I don't have the key to that door. I don't have the key to that door. And they say, oh, Mike Kaiser or Gabby Peluso, right? Oh, Gabby, hey, I'm 10 steps from the door. What door? So can you open it? No problem. Door open.
Yeah.
If I didn't, those people weren't there to open the door, the direction that was given to me would have been at a.
Yeah. I
you know
mean,
what I'm
life
saying?
is all relationships, all network.
Yeah, and I tell people all the time, when you get to know me, you'll realize how many people really don't know me. Man, I hear all kind of talk and chatter. It's crazy. I'll be like, what? But the people that know me, you could tell them something, they'll be like, what you do? Don't get me wrong. I've had a reputation about myself with some things. And the majority of the time it comes from me protecting my family, my friends, my loved ones, my business partners. People always tell you one side of it. But other than that, man, I'm pretty much easygoing, man. I'm a family man. I'm a father. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I just want to see everybody win.
You think everyone can actually win though? Everyone?
Everybody could win in their own game if you enter the game. It's a lot of people on the sideline who check themselves out. See, people misinterpret the goal line as a competition.
Yeah, I think they interpret other people's goal line as their goal line.
There you have it.
Yeah.
See, what your goal line is will be different from mine. This man might live to 2040 and you might live to 2050. Guess what? When the time of his demise, when his family and friends look up and they say, he did this, he did that, there's no debt, is this and that. He raised the kids, the grandkids, he left everything paid off. He won. It's some people who never seen their kids, they was winos or they committed to drugs or whatever it may be. Then, you may be on the other side of things, but I believe everybody can win at their game.
Yeah.
Even when you're losing in your game, as long as you stay on the field, you got action at winning.
Yeah.
We're taught as kids, brother. The culture know we getting our ass kicked, but don't give up. Don't give up.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen fights in schools where the David and Goliath situation and the little guy didn't give up and pow, there it went.
Yeah. If not then, at some point, win in some way. For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A lot of people just quit because it's easier.
If it was easy, everybody do it, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm moved by energy. You know what I'm saying? Most people, and I don't get caught up like with the people pumping my head up of who I am and all that. I don't get caught up in. I am me. I'm a regular dude. Man, listen, that's cool. If that's the way you see me, great. This is why you didn't get no pushback.
Yeah.
Most people in my shoes, Saturday, 10 o'clock. Podcast tomorrow on Sunday. Man, get the what time's good for you?
Yeah.
11. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's exactly how it went. Yeah.
Because I believe everything's an opportunity. And when it comes your way, that's when you start to build on it.
So, but as you've gotten older, have you been able to recognize when like things aren't good opportunities, and how do you recognize them sooner?
I think my problem is I recognize them off the gate, and R&B's been on me about this. And because of where I come from, when I start to remember I was a hard head and people still stayed with me, even when I recognize it and I should pull away, I stay in there with it, hoping and thinking I can change it.
The optimism.
Now, R&B, I was right, but she's right today. I'm going to tell you the difference. I'm looking at it from when I was a child. It's more possibilities of a child going through a change than an adult that's stuck in their ways. Majority of adults is 35, 40, 42. That's who they are. So I'm looking at these people like, okay, bro, they stuck with you when you was a youngster. Stay with them. Maybe you could change them. But I can't look at it like that because these aren't kids I'm dealing with. These are grown men that come in with motives and things. And when you see it and detect it, you just got to pull away.
Yeah.
So, and that's a learning experience. That's a fresh one, actually. So, you know,
A fresh run in what situation?
no, I've always, it's always, and I'm kind of like really just cleaning out my closet. Shout out to one of the greatest rappers alive,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Marshall. To where I don't really have nobody left in there. Everybody that's around me, been around me, are on some real shit, no BS. But nah, man, you know, follow your intuition, follow your gut, and don't think you can change the world. Just think you can change some things in the world, and always focus on working that change in you.
Yeah. Well, that's a fact. I mean, you can't change anything else without changing yourself.
Yeah, you know, so.
Well, brother, I appreciate your time. Genuinely.
Yeah,
I gotta
man,
go
I
say
mean,
bye to my mom. I know she's leaving.
Definitely, yeah, I seen her step in.
Yeah.
Ma Dukes came in here.
Yeah. I was like, shit.
I was about to tell her, I'm a Trump supporter, Ma Dukes.
Yeah. No, she's not.
I know.
She's not.
Hey, yo,
She's
bro.
so liberal, bro.
Hey, bro.
Yo, fuck. Don't tell her that.
We might would have got some content.
She's gonna send you a bunch of fucking reasons. Shit, bro. She texts me shit all the time. Like, oh god, don't send me this.
Incredible diapers. You
But
got
yeah.
any kids around here?
I don't. But I got someone who I can give these to.